Yeah, really good. Obviously, it's been a little while now, but yeah, look, delighted to be here. Looking forward to the massive challenge ahead, which I was well aware of before taking on the responsibility, and looking forward to working with the players and the staff, and being part of a really strong competition.
It was a brilliant few years for you at Celtic, but at the start of the season, there was a lot of players that left when you joined the club. You had to do a lot of recruitment at the start, didn't you? And is that a bit of patience required here from supporters?
Look, it's fair to say every sort of position I've had has kind of needed some sort of rebuild. And as you said, I had a brilliant 2 years at Celtic. Loved every minute of it, but it was challenging, particularly at the start. And I don't know if it's about patience. I mean, you can't ask people to feel a certain way or to sort of dampen expectations. I think what I've tried to do wherever I've been, and including Celtic, is allow them to form their own opinion with what they see rather than what I say. And like I said, we had a massive rebuild at Celtic, but I think at the beginning, even though the results weren't there, the supporters could see what we were trying to do and got behind us. And I don't know whether it's going to be a rocky start for us or a good start for us, but either way, my hope and my desire and what I'm going to try and do is give our supporters hope and belief that we're going to embark on something special.
You made some exciting signings already, and it could be a biggish squad, so some undoubtedly will leave too. In terms of the short-term planning, are there certain players like Harry Kane where you have to say, he's got to stay, he's part of my plans, he's imperative?
So it's question 3, and it was Harry, was it? Okay, we were running a pool with the coaches. I think Mile Jedinak won, actually. I had over 6 because I thought you'd care more about me than Harry. But, no, look, I think in terms of the squad, as I said, it's fair to say, I think the reason that I'm here is because, the club is seeking change, change in direction, change in, the way we do things, and that usually transpires in the change in personnel, squad and players and staff. And, within that context, my role right at this minute is to deal with what's in front of me, the certainties I have, knowing that there are going to be many uncertainties, and trying to tick off one by one, the path forward for us, and that is, what our squad's going to look like. May take a little while until the season starts before we have clarity on that, but within that, I can't wait for that moment to start working. We've started already.
Good luck, Ange.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the Premier League. Becky, I was from the Premier League. Was it always your goal or ambition to work in the Premier League, and how much are you relishing challenging your philosophies, tactics against the other managers that you have?
I can't say it was a goal. I've come literally from the other side of the world, so it's kind of been I've just wanted to experience as much as I can throughout my career and see where that takes me. And every challenge I've had is I've enjoyed, I've embraced wherever I've worked, whether that's in different countries, different leagues, national team or club football. But the Premier League is the strongest competition, as you said. Some of the best managers in the world are in this competition. Some of the strongest teams in the world are in this competition, and why wouldn't you want to embrace that? And it's another opportunity for me to do what I do. In a different competition with different sort of fundamentals around it, and experience something else in my career that I hadn't. Like I said, it wasn't an ambition of mine, but certainly everything I've done, I've tried to do the best of my ability so that it gives me more experiences that I can say, have given me a career that, I've realised everything I wanted to do.
Do you have any preconceived ideas about what the season might be like ahead? And do you set goals along the way?
No on both, because I think going in with sort of preconceived ideas might be limiting, as is making goals. I think, again, from the outset, what's important is that we try and establish some sort of key principles of who we want to be, first of all. And not just in the way we play, the way we behave, the way we train, the way we interact with one another, the way we interact with everyone else, and then see where that takes us. Because, goals are great, but they can also sort of stifle you a little bit because you become a bit narrow. And the reality of it is we're going to have to do things and be fairly flexible along the way to adjust to whatever challenge there may be ahead of us. So we don't know what they are. Sometimes with all the best planning and sort of trying to have foresight in these kind of things, things come across your path, and we've got to be agile enough to adjust to that. And as I said, see where that takes us. But, we're a big club, and the end goal for all big clubs is to have success, and that's what we want to try and do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. G'day.
It's a good start. Yeah, g'day. How are you, mate?
How much of a step up from the SPL is the Premier League for you?
I don't know about step-ups. I mean, I had the same question when I got to the SPL, but I've coached at a World Cup, so I've coached at, in different leagues. I think every challenge is the same, to be honest, because it's relative to the competition you're in. So, I've never gone into any job thinking, oh, this is going to be easy in comparison to anything else I've done. Is this going to be a massive challenge? Absolutely, but Celtic was a massive challenge. I mean, I know people sort of say that in Scotland, if you're Celtic, you can finish. You're either going to finish first or second, but second is last. Second, I'm not in the job. So you have to finish first. So, that's irrespective of kind of what outside thoughts are, there's still a demand there. And it's not just about winning, it's a manner in which you win as well. There's an expectation around your way you play your football, particularly, for me, who, I'm pretty explicit in saying I want my teams to play a certain way. So that has to be reflective of how we do things. So I've never seen anything I've done as a step up. I just see it as a different challenge, a different set of circumstances, because with every what other people perceive as a step up in level, you're working with also better players and, a bigger organisation, more resources. So all those kind of things are relative. So I don't dismiss any success at any level for anybody in life, because as I said, I can guarantee you even the lowest levels of what we perceive, whether that's football or life, somebody is grafting to be successful against the relative competition. So, I've never seen it as a step up. I just see it as a new challenge for me.
You're going to be, we understand, meeting with Harry Kane, or you may already have met with Harry Kane. Is that conversation you finding out from him what he wants in terms of staying now and beyond this season, or is it for you to convince him of what you can offer Spurs so he does want to stay, or a bit of both?
Yeah, I just think, I don't think it's my role to, sit there and sort of treat people in a manner because of their circumstances. I'm really big on just treating everyone the same. And Harry is, he's already entrenched himself in the history of this football club. He's a very important part. He's the premier striker, one of the premier strikers in the world, and I want him involved here. My conversation with him will be about how we can make this club successful, and I've got no doubt that that's what he wants as well. So within that context, whatever sort of that narrows into the personal stuff around Harry himself as an individual. If the conversation takes it that way, we'll take it that way. But I doubt it's going to be, defining in the manner that I think people think it's going to be. It's not going to be a conversation where, we walk out of that room, we've got sort of an understanding, because I don't want that kind of conversation. What I want is to introduce myself to Harry, to give him a sort of vision for the football club, to get an understanding from him of what he thinks this football club needs to be successful. And we go on that training pitch and trying to make it happen.
And final one for me, I presume that if he stays, he'll be your captain this season. What's happening with Hugo Lloris and some other maybe senior players that we understand or be led to believe might be leaving the club this summer?
Yeah, as I said, even that, sort of around the captaincy and that, it's not at the forefront of my mind right now. What's at the forefront of my mind is trying to establish, the direction we're going to go as a football club, and trying to be as clear to people about that, about me and all these kind of things. Because if I start thinking about that kind of detail right now, I'm going to miss, the opportunity to really establish some of the, like I said, fundamentals of what I want us to be. And in terms of the squad, look, we're in that stage like most clubs where you kind of know that there will be activity between now and the start of the season, the end of the window, and there will be some players who won't be here and other players who will come in. Again, in my mind, I try and treat that with the understanding that until something's certain, I'm not going to commit myself either way to, whether a player's going to be here or not, because, again, no point wasting energy on something that may or may not happen. So, so far the lads we've had in have been excellent. The way they've approached things, the staff have been brilliant in sort of adapting and implementing the things I want, and we'll keep moving along. We'll get all the rest of the sort of group back in the next couple of days, so it'll be great to see everyone in the building